Andito po tayo sa Thailand at kasama tayo doon sa aral at gala ng Inspired Learning Tours at kasama natin si Dr. Pablito Pamplona ng Kabakan, sir? Kabakan North Cotabato.
Dati sa University of Southern Mindanao, pero retired na.
Opo. Si Sir ay dating professor po kayo, sir, no?
Yeah.
Ayan. Sir, nung araw na nakagawa nga tayo ng episodes, no, about durian and mangosteen, medyo matagal na, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years ago. Sir, nung gumawa tayo ng instructional video about durian and mangosteen, gaano na yan, sir, kalayo ang difference itong panahon na to? Available na po ang Agribusiness merch sa Shopee. Ang link nasa description box.
May kalayuan na ng kaunti. I believe na we are lagging behind Thailand in Malaysia. Mga 20 years.
20 years?
Yes.
Oo.
Ang estimate ko. Kasi from there, during that time, they develop a lot of technologies. Tayo naman nag-stagnate. Ang durian, dahil Mindanao cannot sell their products at the time. So there was an oversupply. At what happened is many farmers either abandoned their farms or changed to other crops.
Pero sir, nung time na yon, 30 years ago, ang Pilipinas ang leading ba tayo or equally the same tayo with Thailand?
We are leading pa rin ang Thailand during the time, but we are not much beyond. Ang nag-pick up towards us at the time was Vietnam. But we'll note that Vietnam now has progressed so much. In fact, they are considered as competitor of Thailand. In some respect, they have better technologies than Thailand.
Talaga, sir?
Yeah. So tayo, we are left behind, but not too much also. Kasi many of the Filipinos going to Thailand and to Malaysia are accessing these new technologies, particularly which were developed during the last 20 years.
Sir, ano po ang changes in terms of varieties ba? May mga bago?
Sa varieties, here in Thailand, there is not so much change. At that time, their priority or important variety is still montong. It's montong up to now, but they have produced montong now at a very low cost and with less mortality. You see, one of the techniques developed recently was mounding of durian. As a result of that, the problem of Phytophthora was solved almost 100% because there's no standing water at the base of the durian trees. And not only that, there is also control of watering, which is important in flowering of durian.
Sir, yung montong na sinasabi niyo is not the puyat?
This is different. This is different. What we got was what Mr. Puyat got from Thailand are the Chani varieties. Chani varieties. And when this was planted in the Philippines, it even performs better than what it is performing
in Thailand.
So we call this the phenotypic response of plants, where plants in certain areas perform better than in its original, in its native states.
So supposedly, yun ang maganda sa atin?
Yun ang maganda, but the way I look at it is not really as good as montong, because the preference of the China market aside from Musang King is montong.
I see.
And I think we have to go back to montong, but we have to use mounding this time to reduce the Phytophthora problem. At that time, Montong was planted in the Philippines, normally after up to 6 years, we incur already about 50% mortality. And it's very high.
Before it reached 6 years.
Yes. Now, in Thailand, they have practically eradicated this disease with mounting alone.
When you say mounting, sir, nakaganon yung lupa?
Yes, nakataas.
Nakataas.
Yeah, just like a mount ng ants. And it's normally
Per
about
hill, sir?
per hill,
Nakaganyan siya?
per hill talaga. And normally they start with about 2 meters high, then 3 to 4 meters diameter. Of course, as the years goes on, this is reduced. Even with that, the reduction on Phytophthora damage is already great. And not only that, of course, some farmers are adding also soil on top.
Ano, sir, ang main cause ng disease?
The disease is still caused by Phytophthora,
Okay.
a dreadful disease, which of course like so much the bark of durian, and particularly the watery portion at the base. Now this is reduced because with mounting, water would just pass through the stem of durian. But of course, it's added to the cost. That's why in Malaysia, at one time, there was so much resistance. They call this as the Chinese cemetery because it's just like as big as the Chinese cemetery for each plant. But now, it is an acceptable practice in both Thailand, Malaysia, and even in Indonesia.
Oh, okay. Sir, ibig mong sabihin, di nakamount na ganyan. Once it's mounted, doon ka palang magtatanim sa taas.
Yes, doon ka magtanim sa taas. So, you roll out the stagnation of water at the base of the plant, which causes Phytophthora.
Oh, I
Because
see.
this is the condition favorable for Phytophthora.
Okay. Aside from the varieties, any other developments dun as far as the technologies? You mentioned several technologies po.
Well, and as far as the Philippines is planting now, a lot of farming goes to Poyat and also Musang King and Blackthorn. We got our Musang King from Malaysia. Because Musang King commands a better price, much better in the market. For example, in the market, if Montong would be at the wholesale price of 80 to 120, the wholesale price of Musang King is about 10 times that, about 800 to 2,000 pesos. Oftentimes to us Filipinos, we will say who will afford that. But recently our production could hardly meet the demand of those who have the money really to buy. And in China, the problem is not money for them.
Yeah.
It's the taste that they would like.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, ano ang percentage of the Musang King and Montong?
The current planting, actually there's very few planting of negligible. The planting of Montong is negligible. But I was still in the farmers, let's go back into that because the demand in the market is great. And try now with the mounting of the plants. Most of the promotion of the government is on Poyat because the seedlings are readily available.
Okay.
Actually, we have limited supply of Musang King and Blackthorn. Maybe it will take Blackthorn because the endpoint of the fruit is black.
Oh,
That's why they call it Blackthorn. Yeah.
Okay. So, yun po, yung mga gustong magdurian at present, dapat ang itanim ay Musang King, Blackthorn, and
To the less expense Puyat.
Okay.
Because the seedlings of Puyat is only about 1/10 of the cost of the seedlings of Musang King.
oo. And Montong.
and Muntong. We have to
Muntong.
go back into Muntong, but we have to do the mounding.
Yeah, the new technology. Okay. Paano na-develop, sir? Sino naka-develop yung technology ng mounting?
Actually, the Thai started it in one of the resort that we were going to Chantaburi before, but you know, the people in the government at the time would say, who can afford that? That's too expensive, because a lot of the farmers do not have backhoe. Now it is a standard practices in durian plantation to have a backhoe for mounting. Of course, the Malaysian adopted it because most of their varieties like D24 and even Musang King at the early stage are very susceptible to Phytophthora. With this, they almost eliminated the problem of Phytophthora.
Na-mention mo, sir, yung D24. Masarap din po yan, sir, di ba?
Masarap. It is still the highly priced in Malaysia, second to Musang King. Yeah.
Sa Philippines po, sir, ano ang chances natin na makahabol?
Well, I would say we are moving fast also, but not too fast as we wanted it to be. But the problem now with our going very fast is our smallholders might be left out, because many of the investors now in Mindanao are Singaporean, Malaysian, and Chinese. They are the one positioning on big farms for big planting. Of course, the smallholders is still there. That's why we would like rather the government to come in and support really the smallholders, because it's the smallholders that should profit from this. Of course, we could profit from the multinationals coming in because of labor. Filipinos can be employed. But I think a better way if it's they themselves put up the plantation.
Sir, gaano kadaming multinationals are coming in the Philippines?
Not really many now, but they are a sizable number already. And it's still picking up. Some of them just to buy farms with for a shortcut.
Okay. So, pag sinabi yung multinational, so ang magnitude ng plantation nila parang kagaya ng pineapple, ng banana, ganun ba?
Not to that extent. Maybe starting with 50 hectares, 200 hectares.
Okay.
Yeah, there is somebody starting about 20 hectares in South Cotabato, but the intention is really to expand that to a particular level, which is high enough. So it's only in our government that should subsidize the cost of planting materials, not for free, and the technology, because a lot of farmers are not still aware of the new technologies in durian.
Kumusta, sir, ang Philippines in terms of research natin for new technologies? Kagaya ng mga ginagawa nyo before, nung nandun pa kayo sa university, kumusta po?
I would say it's lagging beyond now. The problem with the government now, it is concentrated on food crops like rice, corn, and then to some extent vegetable crops to stabilize the price. There is not so much research going on now on fruit crops.
On fruit crops.
Yeah.
Bakit, sir?
I don't know. We have, you know, what the king is doing, just the same as we visited, should be a pattern in the Philippines. Here's the king is doing great, helping the smallholders. The most important project that they have developed recently is really the sweet aromatic coconut. When a lot of farmers were complaining in the swampy area that they could not plant anything, the queen developed the technology. Now they are #1 exporter of sweet aromatic coconut. And in the same is the smallholders now are able to enter the durian production because of the assistance that the king is doing to the smallholders.
Ito ba yun, sir, yung coconut na, small coconut na parang linuluto nila sa apoy?
Yes, that's one. That's the sweet coconut.
Ah, okay. That's another one.
That's another one. The sweet aromatic, normally they do not cook that anymore. But the sweet coconut, they cook that. According to them it has a big aphrodisiac effect.
Okay, sir. Dito sa Thailand, okay, may support in government in terms of research, new technologies, no? But
Yes.
wala yung mga bigay-bigay ng mga fertilizer, seedlings and all.
Yes.
Paano natin i-ano yan, sir, sa Philippines? Kasi ang uso sa atin, bigay-bigay, no? Ano ang mali doon sa bigay-bigay na yon? Bakit mas effective yung ginagawa ng Thailand kaysa sa atin?
I think it's effective on the part that the participation of the farmers are greater when they buy the value the crops. In our case, sometimes the fertilizer given is not being valued so much with the farmers. But for example, fertilizer for coconut will tell you, even if I fertilize my coconut or not, the production is there. So they sell the fertilizer, they sell the salt. So that's the bad effect of it.
So babalik doon sa farmer, babalik
Yes,
doon sa
yeah.
tao. Yan ang problema, sir.
Yeah, that's the problem that we have with the system that we have. That's why this should be studied carefully. And I think the government should play an important role now for the high value crops, not just on rice and corn, because it is there where farmers would be able to be uplifted from poverty and also to encourage the new generation to go into farming. The new generation would go into farming only if they found that farming is as profitable or more profitable, than going abroad and working.
Yeah.
But you will note that with durian, when a farm is earning $1 million also or more, then naturally the children would think twice before leaving that farm.
Yeah. Okay, sir. For a small farmer in the Philippines, how many hectares ang kailangan to be profitable in durian?
Well, 2 hectares durian, 2 to 3 hectares durian would already be profitable. So you will note that in my presentation of my lecture this morning is on per hectare basis.
Okay.
And in Malaysia, if we tell our farmers now that the Malaysian farmers is earning about 15 million to 20 million pesos per hectare per year, they will not believe on that. That's why my computation, I try to narrow it down to a lower level, wherein a farmer would be earning only about 1 million to 5 million per hectare in planting Musang King, more so in blackthorn. And I think they will believe more on this, particularly if they would see the farms. Farms, progressive farms now being put up for blackthorn and Musang King. Of course, we have also local governments who are really promoting. So 2 of the participants that we have here are the people of the governor of Davao, Davao de Oro. And they are really into it, giving farmers opportunity to access of this technology and to plant. They are the local government who, aside from the multinationals, who in fact are getting a lot of planting materials from us.
Okay. Sir, balikan ko lang yung sinabi nyo. In Malaysia, an ordinary farmer ay kayang kumita ng 10 to 15 million per year.
Per hectare.
Per hectare.
Yes.
Paano nangyari yun, sir?
You say the price of Musang King now is about 1,200. Last year it moved, it did not below 800 pesos per kilo.
Wow.
So even if you compute at the lowest fruit production of 200 fruits per tree, which is very easy for Musang King to produce, and with 200 fruits, 400 kilos times 500 kilos times 1,000, how much would that be? But you compute in only at 500, because even in the Philippines now, if you have Musang King sold for 500 pesos, that would be like a hot cake. Sometimes people would quarrel and say, sa akin na yan. Sa akin na lahat yung production mo.
Okay. Kailan nag-start, sir, tumaas ang presyo ng Musang King?
Well, it started, I think, almost 10 years ago. But only they were keeping this, Malaysia was not so really keen on sharing this. It's only recently when they found out that they cannot really supply, and even with them, their consumption is high because there are many rich people in Malaysia.
Oh, I
so
see.
they got that. Plus, there are tourists also going there when the Chinese and other nationals are going there. When they serve at the hotel, they include this Musang King. The same is true with Indonesia. It's going into that, but the Indonesian do not even export durian because of their population. The local population alone is more than enough to absorb their production.
So Indonesia is also producing a lot of Musang King?
Yes, a lot of Musang King and blackthorn. They are the highest. Their production is even greater than Thailand right now. But all of these are catered to the domestic market. There are many rich Indonesian in a way.
Ayan. So, nung nakita nila na hindi nila kaya, yung laki ng demand, kailan natin nabalitaan dito sa Philippines?
Yes, so they come here. Besides, in fact, it was accidental that I learned about it about 6 or 7 years ago. Malaysians comes to the Philippines to
Looking for Musang King?
Looking for area to plant Musang King.
Okay.
Because if they plant Musang King, they can introduce new high-value products, particularly Musang King wine and Musang King coffee. These are high-value products because anything that you add, like ice cream, like pastry, you add this. But what that Chinese was interested was for this time the wine, because they have developed the wine. So in Malaysia, they are prohibited to plant crops for wine.
Oh,
so
I
they would
see.
like to have it in the Philippines, and so they were asking, "Do you have Musang King? What is the performance?" Then it's the time I noted that I have a lot of Musang King trees still left from my plantings in the 1990s.
Wow, in the 90s, sir. Ito yung mga nagagawa tayo ng mga series, Musang King na yung mga tinatanim.
Yeah, there were with of course Chani, with Montong, D24, and others.
Oo. Sir, is there a possibility, kasi 'di ba yung puyat, 'di ba, na originally galing sa Thailand, tapos nung naitanim niyo sa Philippines, it performed better, 'di ba? Sabi niyo kanina.
Yes, sir.
Is there a possibility ng Musang King ay better performance also in the Philippines?
There is possibility, but what we noted now is the performance, the quality is the same as in Thailand and in Malaysia. The Vietnamese now are telling the world that they have better Musang King than Malaysia.
Okay.
But this has not been proven yet. So their materials come from Malaysia, but the trees there are performing better.
In short, sir, gaano kalaki ang potential ng durian, specifically Musang King and blackthorn and montong in the Philippines?
Well, I would say even if we plant now 100 hectares or more, similar to 1/4 of their planting in Malaysia, there's no problem in the market because our fruiting anyway is different from that of Malaysia. That's what the Malaysians are doing. They're helping us to just to lengthen their business, their market. So if they can sell their Musang King up to August, ours is coming August, October, August, September, and early October.
Oh, I
So
see.
meaning the lengthened business.
Yeah. So by the time na matapos yung season sa kanila, mag-start ang season sa Philippines.
Yes, that's right.
Bakit nangyari yun, sir? O why different yung season?
The fruiting is influenced by rainfall.
Okay.
So they have different rainfall pattern. They have early rainfall in Malaysia because durian would flower when there is a dry period of 3 weeks to 1 month. Then this is irrigated, and then what happened in here is they do a lot of flowering. But in Vietnam, they developed a new technology. They had been take note that the Vietnamese were once under the French colony.
Yes.
And they have better orchard developed even before the Vietnam War. And they were able to revive this. So what they are doing now is, in fact, they are getting the highest fruiting because during dry months, sometimes it rains, but in their case, they would cover the ground with plastic. So practically there is no rain. And 1 month in covering that plastic, they would remove the plastic and pour this with water coming from the canals and so on. And there is heavy flowering. That's why they see that they are producing greater durian now. The yield is very high. Most of these are grown under the delta plain, where we have the series of dike and canal, and so the dikes are being planted to durian.
Naging advantage na lang yan, sir. Na-maximize nila.
Yes.
Okay. And the same with Thailand?
The same in Thailand in their deltas here. And it's the same. That's why a lot of Chinese are interested in Davao because most of our banana have already this infrastructure, good drainage for banana, and they do not need so much of farm development anymore. Where banana was planted, it could be planted also to durian.
So papalitan yung
Papalitan
banana
lang because
to
we
durian?
have problems now with musarium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paano yun, sir? Ang effect nun, eventually, mawawala yung banana rin.
The banana are moving from one place to another place
another.
where there are no posarium. So a lot of farmers, a lot of these multinational transfer from Davao, De Oro to Bukidnon to South Cotabato, and they are even planning to move to Basilan and to other areas.
So lahat ng iniwan nila, now that's the best area to plant
Durian. Yeah. Even they are planning to move even to Palawan, but Palawan is still a problem because of logistics.
Okay. Sir, going naman sa sa cultural management. Okay, ano ba yung mga basic lang na dapat malaman nila? Alam mo niyo na mga Filipino, narinig yung ganito, ganyan, magtatanim, not knowing yung protocol, yung tamang proseso.
I think one of the major changes now, which is very important, is on the fertilization.
Okay.
The Filipinos has that mentality. In this mini textbook, it tells you, you
Yes.
fertilize at the beginning of the rainy
Onset
season
of the rainy season.
and towards the end. But they said that doing that, at times the plant would die of so much fertilizer, and a certain part of the year of no part. So what is very important now is at the immature stage, a small amount of fertilizer is being applied to the plant on monthly basis.
Monthly basis.
So
naman.
just like banana, we are using monthly basis for fertilization during the first 2 years. And because of this, the plant would rather grow properly. Of course, it is very important that the durian planting points should already be fertile. And normally this is prepared for 1 month addition of organic fertilizer or half sack of chicken dung. Among the dung that we have, chicken dung is high in many nutrients compared to goat manure and cattle manure. So that's very important. And then as a result of this fertilization, it's very important. At the time it will be putting, the fertilization is just 4 times a year, and this will follow the cycle of putting.
So the monthly fertilization is applicable even for the newly transplanted plant?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So how many, every year ganun po yung system until mamunga siya?
For the first 2 years.
First 2 years?
Yeah,
Okay.
very important that ma-feed in small amount yung tanim, durian in particular this time. So it's small amount that to satisfy the needs.
Okay.
So there's not too much fertilizer, because plants will die of either too much fertilizer or hunger. Although
Okay.
it's more of over-fertilization. Yeah.
Okay, what is enough, sir?
Available na po ang Agribusiness merch sa Shopee. Ang link nasa description box. Agribusiness, how it works. Instruct, inspire, succeed.